Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope that y'all are having an amazing day. I am coming in to talk to you about a little known thing about your blood. And I want to talk about more of the spirit essence in our blood and how the health of our blood impacts our relationships and the type of people that we are drawing into our lives. As I know that relationship connection, this is a super deep, important part of our human experience. And a lot of times we don't realize that we are attracting in the type of people that are coming into our lives. And you may have heard that before. That being said, what you might not have heard is why that's actually happening. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First, to jump into that conversation, I want to talk to you about what your technology of your blood is actually doing in terms of its energetic frequency and more of the field that your blood is emitting. Our blood, this amazing plasma of our soul, of our spirit, of our body, it is fundamentally essential for us to have an experience of life through the blood. Yet we don't often hear people really talking about blood or blood health in any type of way. And I hope to change that because addressing blood health really ripples out to every single area of your body. And it then ripples out to the experiences that you're having. So welcome everyone, say hello, let me know where you're at in the world. I love to be here together with y'all. If you have comments or questions for me, drop them below and I will tune in with them as we're going through this journey. To start our conversation is opening up this understanding of the scalar radionic fields. I'm going to do my best to break things down so that no matter where you're at on your journey, that we can meet together in language in simple ways that everyone can understand. The scalar radionic field is basically the sound field. It's how sound vibrates out through our energetic experience here. Whereas the light field radiates out light waves that our brain then interprets and transforms into physical form and what we see. Like I see this cute little meditating kitty cat that is radiating light out that my eyes are bending and refracting and creating a form out of. We have the light field that we see with our eyes and that makes energy come alive for us in this reality in a very physical way. Then we have the scalar radionic fields. And the scalar radionic fields we don't see with our eyes in the same way, though we can see with our inner sight if we really tune in our clairvoyancy to a certain vibrational frequency where we're able to see sound moving through the experience. The scalar radionic field is what we work with in quantum physics as well. It's what quantum biotechnology is based on. It's based on the radionic field that everything in our experience, everything around us, including our body, is radiating out sound waves. These are scalar waves. And as it radiates out these sound waves, those sound waves are traveling throughout all space and time and resonating with other sound waves, interacting with other sound waves. And this basic concept of what we're radiating out, we will attract in. And this is actually through sound, through vibration, through frequency. So our blood is at all times radiating out these scalar waves. And there's a couple purposes of these waves. The first purpose and the most important purpose is that this is how our spirit, our soul recognizes its body. You are sending out a vibration, a sound wave through your blood out into the stratosphere. That is how your higher dimensional body, your soul, is able to recognize its form because it is the vibration that your soul set and tuned your body to find it, to recognize it, and to be able to enter it. That's really like fundamentally the most important part, at least in my opinion, of this scalar wave of our blood is it's how our soul finds our body. It's how our soul is able to come and enter and live in our body as well. So there is a perfect frequency that your blood will emit when it's super healthy and vital and vibrantly alive that your soul recognizes and enters your body and then lives in your body, in your blood. So that's the first purpose. The second purpose is our blood is then radiating out these sound waves that then identify vibrational matches to those sound waves of experiences that we are to have. So this is where we start to get into the discussion about how the health of our blood actually attracts different type of people into our lives, different type of experiences into our lives, and also attracts different dimensions of our own consciousness to be able to live and reside in our body. When our blood is super healthy, vibrant, alive, all of our cells have space to breathe and move. There's no toxins, there's no parasites, there's no fungus and mold and bacteria and inflammation and heavy metals and all these things that cloud the health of our blood and shift and alter our organic natural frequency that our blood is designed to be emitting to a slightly off frequency that now is vibrating in resonance with maybe the parasites or maybe the pathogens or maybe the heavy metals or the inflammation or whatever it is. When our blood is really vibrating in the essence and energy of its organic imprint, the imprint that our soul imprinted into our body when we came into this world so that our soul could enter it fully, then we have an experience of health, vitality, spiritual connection, deep introspection, meditation, divine union within, and we attract others into our lives that are also in that space, that are also in the space of deep healing, integration, soul embodiment, because our blood will both be sending out those messages to attract those people into our lives. And those relationships will feel deeply nourishing and nurturing and connected and deep and soul fulfilling. So when our blood health is not vibrating in its organic, natural, scalar radionic field that our soul imprinted onto our body because of toxicity, because of maybe there is mold or fungus or Lyme or another type of pathogen or another type of autoimmune or inflammatory or candida, anything that's going on, all of that, even if it's a digestive thing, it's going to impact your blood. Even if it's a lung thing, it's going to impact your blood. Even if it's in your bones, it's going to impact your blood. The blood is the first place that we can see dis-ease showing up in the body, in the mind, and in the spirit. And you can get me into a very long tangent about why, for a very long time, live blood analysis was banned from a lot of countries because it shows these precursors to a lot of types of dis-ease manifesting in people's lives. And there's a big no into any type of preventative healthcare that has been on the planet. It was banned and hidden in secret. And only now is it becoming really safe to come out and start sharing these things and not have to be threatened losing your license or your practice or all these different things that have been happening very stealthily in the medicine and healing space. So when our blood is now, let's just say, toxic, it has dis-ease, it has things in it that are keeping it from being fully vibrantly alive, then the frequency that we start sending out at all times, your blood is sending out a frequency into the field at all times. This is why your heart, and every time I say this, I just feel so much love because our heart never stops beating for us ever in our entire lives. Mm. It is working around the clock, 24/7, 365, every single day until the day you take your last breath in your body. Your heart is beating, is working. Sometimes it's working in overdrive. And every single time your heart beats, what it does is it sends out a ripple wave through that scalar radionic field to every single cell in your body. That means trillions of messages are being sent out with every single beat of your heart. This is beyond the capacity of our conscious mind to really even truly comprehend the vast intelligence of our physical form. And for me, through the blood, I've started to be able to actually connect to this vast intelligence of our physical form and our unconscious and all these incredible things that are happening automatically all the time to support us in thriving here. In that experience, then, when we're having this toxicity in our blood, it changes the vibration that our cells are vibrating at, which changes the vibration that the scalar waves are being sent out for us. So every time our heart beats, if there are pathogens, if there are parasites, if there's inflammation, if there's stress, if there is whatever going on in the blood, that's now imprinted into the frequency vibration that the blood and the heart send out into the energetic grid, the morphogenetic field around you. And whatever you're sending out is what you are going to attract back towards you. Whatever you're sending out is what you're going to attract back towards you. And this is all happening through our blood. When we're then radiating out toxic blood, parasitic blood, we're going to attract in people who are also having parasitic blood, who are also having stress in their blood, who are also having candida in their blood or whatever else in their blood, inflammation in their blood, who are having things that are also going on that are keeping them at the same level of soul embodiment that you are at. Because our soul, our spirit lives in our blood, the journey of downstepping and fully bringing our soul all the way to root down into our Earth Star chakra requires our body's blood to be fully vibrant, fully healthy, fully alive, and resonating out the frequency that can actually hold our soul, the energy of our soul in our body. Anyone who's here on the path of spiritual growth and evolution and embodiment and liberation, and you're not thinking about the health of your blood, like it's time to start doing that. Because in my experience and in the experience with the clients that I've been working with for the last several years, the integration of your soul fully coming into your body and your spiritual awakening will be more difficult physically for you if the body's blood is not healthy enough to hold the frequency and the energy that your soul brings into the form. We could also go on a huge tangent about the nervous system and brain. We'll save that for another time though, another video in the future. So back to this blood piece. When we realize this, like when we think about, okay, my blood is then attracting the type of people that are in my life, the type of experiences that I'm having, the type of connection that I'm able to have with the divine. A lot of times when people do blood cleansing, they start to tap into more of their clear senses, more of their intuition, more of their ability to connect with their higher self, because all of that is happening through your blood. Our mind also lives and rests in our blood. So it deeply impacts the health of our blood, deeply impacts our mind's ability to rest and land in our body too. When we have blood that is toxic at a point and it's filled with all these different things that are skewing the vibration that we're sending out into the field, into the energetic field, then our mind is unable to rest. And then our mind will start to scatter and get disoriented and get anxiety and spin its wheels and get stressed and all these things. And then we start to resonate that out through the mental field. We start to resonate that out through the mental body as well. So we get to this point where our physical body is radiating out frequencies of attracting parasitic energies and attracting traumatic energies and attracting energies that are emanating the same vibration that were in our blood. Our mind will also start resonating out the stress and the fear or the anxiety or whatever it is, the unworthiness, and that will then attract into the mental body people who are at that same place. Through healing and clearing the blood, we organize the mind to be able to rest in peace and presence and here and now, and our spirit to land in our body fully. And we start to attract into our lives people who are operating in that same frequency. So there's so much more to being a vibrational match for what you want and the type of people that you want in your life than just like sitting and like intending and sending it out and that being it. Like we have to make sure that we are actually a vibrational match. And if you don't understand that where you're actually sending the vibration out from is out from your blood, then you're not going to be addressing the vibration at its root, at its source in your blood to shift your vibration. The moment that you do, though, and you actually address the health of your blood through healing your blood, cleansing your blood, purifying it, working with the mind, connecting to the blood, working with the spirit, connecting with the blood, working with finding your authentic, natural, organic resonance in your blood that allows your soul to really start to drop in deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until it's landed all the way down and you're in this embodiment that cannot be shaped, altered, moved, projected on because it is rooted in your being. That energy, that frequency that gets radiated out through your blood, through your hearts, attracts people in, experiences in, opportunities in that meet you there, that meet you in that healthy, vibrant soul connection. So if that's not happening and you are attracting in people that there's conflict with, energies that there's dissonance with, then addressing your body's health and your body's blood and really strengthening your spirit's connection to your blood, working on healing your blood so that you're no longer sending out those ripple waves into the collective to then attract that back towards you is one of the fastest and most efficient ways of changing and altering your experience. Because once you shift the energy that you're sending out, you shift the energy that you're receiving back. And you can temporarily shift this. You can temporarily shift this vibration through prayer, through intention, and you can even see it as a live blood analysis. I can even see blood before, during, and after a meditation changing and altering, which is so cool to see. I've done live blood analysis where I've taken a prick of someone's blood, looked at it, and then started guiding them through a meditation, watching their blood outside of their body on the microscope still alive, changing as they were going through this meditative process, and then being completely transformed afterwards. So that is more of those temporary moments where you can shift into this vibration and start to experience what is possible there. But what happens is for most people, because most bodies are in the space of it being chronic deficiency of nutrients, chronic deficiency of connection to sources, spiritual energies and their soul and ease in their body and presence, being really deeply rooted in presence, is that those momentary shifts, the majority of the blood is going to revert back to its old pattern. And especially if there are pathogens and parasites, these things go and hide in the divergent channels. And the divergent channels, if we understand this at the deeper level, the divergent channels in Chinese medicine are these pathways that basically take things into the joints. And then from the joints, they enter into the bones. And inside your bones, we have bone marrow. And bone marrow is actually where all of your stem cells are created in your body, and stem cells create blood. So fresh, new blood is created through your bone marrow, through these stem cells. So when people have things like Lyme's disease, or they have different types of autoimmune things, or they have different types of strep or Bell's palsy or Epstein-Barr, different types of viruses that show up, when we start to try to heal them, what these things will do is they'll go and hide in the divergent channels if there's not enough energy to clear them, or they'll try to survive. These are very advanced beings as well, these things that will live in the field, in the body. So they'll go and hide in the divergent channels so that the blood that you're then generating has the virus in it. The blood that you're then generating has the parasite, the pathogen in it. So then this is when people will have these experiences where they will go 20 years of living with some type of chronic issue whether it be Lyme or be some other type of virus, because these things go into the divergent channels. They go and live in your joints, live in your bones, and start changing the blood that is actually being created through your body. So when we're working on truly shifting and eradicating this, depending on what's going on for someone, we have to get into the divergent channels. We have to go directly to the source of the blood to create the deepest change and the deepest shifts and the deepest resolution when there are things that have been chronic for 20 plus years. But we start that process off by first starting to recycle and shift the health of the blood and shift the internal connection between your mind and your spirit and your body that brings together this awareness that I am not separate, that I am presence, this consciousness that I am is rooted and living in my blood. And that I can start to immediately shift my reality right now through my mind, through my spirit, and through starting to clean and purify my blood so that I can get the strength and the resources, because you need energetic resources to get into those divergent channels. To understand the body for a moment, let's just backstep a moment here. Our body developed divergent channels to begin with. These are separate from our 12 ordinary meridians. They're separate from our extraordinary meridians. They are their own unique set of energy pathways or meridians in our body that we call divergent channels. We created these divergent channels biologically, energetically, because our bodies did not have enough energy to process things completely. So basically, when something happens, let's say I'll use my own experience. I had a lot of concussions in this life from playing sports and things like that. So every time I would get a concussion, what would happen in those moments is that my body would heal that concussion to the best of its ability, given the resources that it had at the time. So those resources are going to be based on the internal Jing, the energy that is natural into my body that I was given at birth. It's also going to be based off the resources that I'm receiving from food and water. And at the time, this was the 90s, y'all, and water and food were crap. I was not eating great foods as a kid. And so the resources that my body actually had were quite limited and diminished. So the body will heal to the best of its ability in order to allow you to keep functioning and living and moving forward. Anything else that it cannot heal, it sends into the divergent channels. So this can be emotions. This could be extreme traumas. Extreme traumas get sent into that divergent channels. A lot of times the divergent channels in the hips is where we send extreme traumas, which is why people who have developmental traumas and extreme traumas that they're processing will have a lot of hip pain, a lot of tightness in their hip. They'll get into yoga and they'll start releasing all these deep cries and deep emotions as they're just opening up their hips, because the divergent channels in our hips is where we store a lot of deep emotional wounds that we didn't have the energetic bandwidth to process at the time that emotional wound came in through maybe a trauma or an experience or whatever was happening. So we're not just storing in these divergent channels parts of parasites and pathogens and things that we couldn't process at the time that it entered. We're also storing emotions and trauma and beliefs and thoughts about ourselves in these divergent channels. And then those are all influencing our blood that is being created in our body. That then influences the life experience that we have, because our life experience is being created through the energetic field. Everything is energy, right? This is no longer a question of, is everything energy? Like, this is proven, factual, dive into quantum physics. This is understood that everything is energy. Everything is atomic energy, and that is 99.99999% just frequency vibrating in space and form. Our brain, it's translating those frequencies into things that we see, to things that we hear, taste, touch, feel. Thank you, brain. Wow, brain, you do so many amazing things. Wow. Life is possible through this amazing brain. Feeling is possible through this amazing heart. experience is possible through this incredible body. Just feel that for a moment. Let yourself drop into that gratitude for your body, even if it's just for a moment, because you're still in a space of pain or trauma or wounds or living with different type of pathogens and parasites in your body that are making your experience of being in your body really difficult right now, because I know what that is like. And I know what that does to your mind. I know what that does to your soul. I know what that does to your experience and connection with your body. And I'm here on the other side of those experiences, telling you that you can get to a space where you feel so fucking good to be in your body and to be alive. And you're no longer in this spiritual wound of trying to get out of your body, because being in it is so deeply fulfilling and rewarding and nourishing. And you're sending those frequencies out through your blood. And then you're attracting people into your life that meet you in your worth. So I have a question coming in over here on Facebook. Does fasting help with cleansing the blood? When we're working with fasting is always a way that we can help to set and reset our body and do some deeper cleaning and purification. Now, in my experience, fasting may or may not access your blood. Because to access our blood, we have to get first through all of the muck in our digestive system. We have to make sure that our blood organs are functioning properly, active properly, and that we can then start to shift into the deeper layers inside of our blood. So we do get to our blood, but we may not get very deep. If you do a 3-day water fast and you're like, I'm cleansing my body, I'm sorry, but you're just not getting very deep. You're not getting deep enough to start to access into your blood. Now, to get into the divergent channels, that takes even more focus. That often takes things like ozone, that takes things like really deep, intense meditation and spiritual will and forces, which is why we first work on the health of the blood, the health of the body overall. In Chinese medicine, like, you will not even be able to access your divergent channels until you have enough energy in your physical 12 primary channels to handle the amount of processing that's going to have to come up in your system when you start to go into the divergent channels. So we first work very disciplined, diligently, intelligently, and systemically on the health of the 12 major channels. These are related to your organs, right? So your liver meridian, your kidney, your spleen, your heart, these are all your blood meridians in your body, right? So as we work to bring these into balance, we slowly work into the blood. There are also different types of herbs in the protocol that I do with people in Purify. There are different herbs that we work with. We work with enzymes, we work with peptides, we work with various different things to actually get into the blood. Because the blood, we're entering into the subatomic level of our body. We're entering into the quantum realm of our body as well. When you take blood out of your body, you just see blood. You just see this red liquid. But when we actually look inside of blood in live microscopy, we see hundreds of cells. We see a living microbiome. We see a living experience that is the quantum realm of what we're experiencing here. And we have to be able to get into that very intelligently, get into that to actually see deep cleansing of the blood, which in my experience is not going to be fully efficient with just like a fast, just fasting without aids to actually take us deeper. And the blood also requires us to be doing deep, intensive meditation, deep, intensive breath work, embodiments, because the connection between the mind and the spirit is fully governing the health of the blood. So people that will do blood cleansing without the addition of the spiritual mental body aspects to this will see partial results. They may see some results in their like fatigue diminishing, because you're going to feel fatigued when your blood is inflamed and there's toxins in it. You're going to feel disoriented, maybe foggy, just like you're not operating at your full potential. Right? It can also create a bunch of other things that you can go and look on my page, soulful.luxury/purify. Fly like a bird, because we are here to fly, my loves. And when that is happening, they may see some relief to the fatigue and feel some energy come back, but it does not maintain and start to shift and alter the experience that we're having outside of ourselves until we address the spirit, the breath, the prana, right? Spirit, prana, life, breath, and address the mental body as well, and how our mind and our beliefs and the unconscious thoughts that are happening are dictating the health of our blood at all times. So this is all why we have to take a holistic approach to healing, to wholeness. You are whole beings. We cannot just do the physical. We cannot just do the spiritual or just do the mental or just do the emotional. The path to becoming a miracle is someone who transcends and transforms their life in a way that they can go out into the world and impact healing, bring healing and wholeness to the world through simply them being themselves in their wholeness. I believe that miracles are bringing wholeness back into the world, because when you are whole, you are healed. A whole integrated being does not have dis-ease. So from this standpoint, we have to address our cleansing, our purification, our regeneration, our detox process as holy beings, bringing all parts of ourselves into the program, into the protocol, to see the level of results that I'm talking about being possible for you. Where as you shift the quality and health of your blood, you will start to have different types of people show up in your life, people who are resonating at the same frequency that your blood is resonating at, vibrating at. So let me see if there's any other questions that y'all have today, as I am going to be wrapping this up to hop on a call. That being said, if you are catching the replay and you have questions as you're diving into the replay, leave them in the comments. I will come back to them and answer them, maybe in a different video. We're going to be sharing a lot about the blood because we have an online version of my cleansing protocols that I typically only do in person. This, though, specifically is all about the blood. It's a 27-day Purify blood cleansing program that we're going to be addressing at every level, mind, body, soul, creating a new experience in your life through healing, regenerating, and revitalizing your blood. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can just send me a message, as I would love to connect with you and actually see if this is going to be the right fit for you. I really am passionate about making sure that what you're navigating, what I'm offering, is actually going to help you get the results, because I only want you to invest your money in things that are going to 100% guarantee you results. And I will not sell you something that you do not need. So first, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Share what's going on in your world, and let's see if it is what's going to help you get to the experience that you want to be having here in your body, your mind, and your soul. Sending you all so much love and appreciation. I hope that y'all have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you all again real soon. Bye for now.